GLaDOS and Chell have long had an antagonist-protagonist dynamic with one another. Through the latter half of Portal 2, this blossoms into a reluctant allyship. These two, though, might have a different relationship to one another than previously thought. At the end of Portal 2, after discovering her past and deciding to let Chell go, GLaDOS sings the song Cara Mia in a mixture of Spanish and Italian to Chell. Thanks to the work of the Combine Over Wiki, the lyrics translate to this. Beautiful dear, my darling beauty, my baby, oh heaven, what a pity, what a pity. Oh my dear, farewell. My dear child, why don't you walk far away? Yes, far away from science. My dear, dear baby. Ah, my beauty. Ah, my dear. Ah, my dear. Ah, my little girl. Oh, my dearest one. This very directly suggests that GLaDOS is Chell's mother, even in spite of what GLaDOS says elsewhere.
I'm going through the list of test subjects in cryogenic storage. I managed to find 2 with your last name. A man and a woman. So that's interesting. It's a small world. I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise. So I'll just give you a hint. It involves meeting 2 people you haven't seen in a long time. Initiating surprise in 3, 2, 1. I made it all up. Surprise. Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you. I feel awful about that surprise. Tell you what, let's give your parents a call right now.
The birth parents you are trying to reach do not love you. Please hang up.
Oh, that's sad. But impressive. Maybe they worked at the phone company.
GLaDOS being Chell's mother would explain a couple of other notable moments, if it were true. For example, GLaDOS does say this in Portal 1.
Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart. Stop squirming and die like an adult or I'm going to delete your backup. As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
According to several bits of ancillary material, GLaDOS took over the facility on Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Now, Chell was a participant in Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, as seen in Portal 2.
Bring your daughter to work day. That did not end well.
This does complicate things, as Chell would need a living parent currently working for Aperture to participate. There are other ways to reconcile this, though. One possibility is that this Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is much older, and thus before Carolyn became GLaDOS. While there is a lot of debate as to the timeline of things, we can't tell that the projects were made by relatively young children, including Chell's. On top of this, we can see in Portal 2 Lab Rat that when Chell volunteered with Aperture to be a test subject, she wasn't too much younger than she is in the games. Despite these doubts, a cut line left in Portal 2's files might actually confirm the familial relationship once and for all. In Source Engine titles, sequences with dialogue, captions, and characters being able to look at players or other things require something called a scene file to coordinate it all. Sometimes, sequences require multiple scene files to be used. In order to organize what is in a scene file, sometimes the dialogue of the file is typed out verbatim. In the case of Portal 2 and its cast of characters, early versions and cut lines make it in and remain in these files as the game was being worked on. In the scene where Chell and Wheatley confront GLaDOS, there is a cut set of lines that was meant to be said while the core system disconnects GLaDOS. GLaDOS would have said the following: "Chell, stop this! I'm your mother!" Alright, fine, that's not true. But it could be... Her statement is played off as a lie. But given Cara Mia, and some of GLaDOS's Portal 1 statements writing a thin line of both parental love and admonishment, and outright gaslighting, it's possible that she is lying about lying. The question then comes around to Chell's father. Naturally, Cave Johnson would come up as a possibility given his close relationship with Carolyn.
I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place. That eager voice you heard is the lovely Carolyn, my assistant. Rest assured, she has transferred your honorarium to the charitable organization of your choice. Isn't that right, Carolyn?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science. Say goodbye, Carolyn.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
She is a gem. That said, I would really appreciate it if you could test as fast as possible. Carolyn, please bring me more pain pills.
There is a cut plotline where a version of Cave Johnson trapped in a cube meets Chell and GLaDOS that also has lines remaining in the very scene files, but none of his lines allude to even knowing who Chell is. Chell, possibly having an unidentified father, could also solve the issue of the bring your daughter to work day conundrum, as Chell's father could be the one who brought her. Or maybe Chell's father is no longer alive or in her life. If we continue with the idea that GLaDOS hugs a fine line of truth and gaslighting in her statements, she may not be completely wrong with her orphan and adopted comments.
It also says you were adopted, so that's funny too. Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point. If it makes you feel any better, science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
Chell may have been given up for adoption or ended up in foster care after Carolyn went to become GLaDOS. And we do know that Aperture actually prefers orphans for their test subjects too. For Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, Aperture could have made an exception for Chell due to the unique position of GLaDOS. While this is wildly speculatory, if GLaDOS and Chell are family, it's possible that Doug Rattmann figured out this relation too. Portal 2 lab rat shows him searching frantically through and later taking the physical employee files of Aperture Science. Reading these files, he is convinced that Chell is the one who could be GLaDOS. Later, though, he says it was just a hunch. We do see on the last page of the comic that one of the files say that Chell is so incredibly stubborn that she should not be tested, implying that this is the reason why he believes. But this isn't the only file of hers we see. The comic actually doesn't show us what specifically convinces him that Chell is the one, though. So it's possible the file notes their connection and he figured that might be what is needed to stop GLaDOS. This is just speculation based on the lack of direct evidence for something specific. It should still be noted that the comic reveals that Aperture themselves have censored Chell's last name in these files, and it doesn't appear that this is a super common practice for Aperture to do this.